Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream. And welcome to a new low for Chelsea Football Club. Yes, we've made the semi-finals of the Conference League, but we lost last night 2-1 to Legia Warsaw in the second leg. And quite frankly, it was one of the worst performances I have ever seen, ever had a displeasure of watching. My first game back after missing a few due to being away. And quite frankly, I wish I hadn't bothered. I wish I had not bothered. It was the same shit we have been watching for the last 4 months. Abject, dire, shocking football. Shocking football. It was pathetic. And if fans hadn't made their mind up on Maresca now, then Maresca, with that result last night, has certainly lost a lot more of this fan base. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. The issues at Chelsea are multifaceted. Multifaceted. It's not just the manager. The manager is an issue right now, but it's not just the manager. The directors are a problem. The ownership's a problem. The playing squad is a problem. The squad's been put together horrendously. The squad is nowhere near as good as a lot of us thought or a lot of us have made out. You know, it's nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense what's going on at the club right now. And we are in the shit big time. We are in the shit big time, guys. There's no escaping it. Maresca's team selection last night confirmed to me that he knows we're not getting Champions League football on a top 5 finish. And the priority is to finish in the conference, is to win the Conference League. Because from his perspective and from a manager's perspective, it is far better for his CV to have a trophy on there than a top 5 finish. A trophy carries far more weight on the CV than a top 5 finish. If he were to go at the end of the season and win the Conference League, he would have 2 seasons in management, the Championship title and a Conference League. That's far better than just having a top 5 finish on your CV. So from his perspective, you can understand why that's the priority. But for me, it's clear as day that that's the priority. And the worst thing about last night was, it's not the fact we lost, because if you had just played low of the academy kids and we lost, no problem. It's the fact that we lost with the team that we put out. You're starting Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer, Nkunku, Sancho, Cucurella. You know, you're starting a strong team. You're bringing on Malo Gusto, you're bringing on Madueke. You know, you're starting a strong team. And to serve up that level of performance is criminal. Absolutely criminal. You know, yes, we approached that game like we were 3 goals up. I understand that, you know, no problem. But the issue for me is not the result. The issue for me is the result from playing the strong team. That is the biggest problem here. You know, we could have rotated, we could have changed the team completely and got the same result. You know, Reece James's comments last night were absolutely alarming, saying that we didn't prepare properly for this game, that we disrespected the competition. What the fuck is going on at the training ground and at this football club right now? The attitude and the approach to last night's game was absolutely disgusting, and it was disgraceful. And for me, there's a big reason now why so many people are questioning this process. At what point ever is it acceptable for players to think they are above a competition? How is that thought process and that mindset being allowed to manifest itself at the training ground? Fans paid money to turn up last night, and players are thinking that they're above the competition and they didn't even prepare properly for this fucking game. I mean, seriously, is this what we're doing right now? Is this what we are doing right now? Because for me, the mentality is in the bin. The mentality of the managers in the bin. The mentality of the players is in the bin. The mentality from the ownership is in the bin. Nobody at this football club is good enough. The ownership, the directors, the manager, and the players, all not good enough. Now, ultimately, the manager will get a lot of heat because he's the one that is the easiest to get rid of. But the reality is, if you get rid of the manager, you're just papering over the cracks. You're just using him as the fall guy for the failings elsewhere, because the manager is the one who is disposable. These players aren't going anywhere. these directors aren't going anywhere, and this ownership isn't going anywhere. So you get a situation where fans turn against the manager, but actually getting rid of the manager is just a temporary relief, a little bit of dopamine. Oh, we're going to get a new manager, and it's all good. You know, it's and you're just moving. You're just really not really changing very much at all. You know, I don't understand what's going on with these players. Cole Palmer's not scored for 15 games. Nicholas Jackson's not scored in 2025. Our top scorer in 2025 is Mark Cucurella with 4 goals. 4 goals. He's got 4. Madueke's got 4 in 2025. The sad reality is, guys, is that we're shit. That's the reality. This playing squad's not good enough. This club is a shadow of what it used to be. And the reality is, if we get rid of another manager, do you trust these sporting directors to pick someone up, to pick the next manager? Do we trust the sporting directors to pick the next manager? These are directors who would have picked Potter, not good enough. Would have picked Pochettino, not good enough. Would have picked Maresca, not good enough. In what world do these guys deserve another chance to pick another manager? They don't. How can you sit here and say manager out and then at the same sentence trust these guys to pick someone else? It is nonsense. You know full well what the shortlist will be. Thomas Frank was on the shortlist last time, as was Kieran McKenna. Both those managers will be on the shortlist again. Liam Rossini at Strasbourg, you can guarantee he'll be on the shortlist, and there'll probably be some other random flavour of the month from round the world on the shortlist. People saying that, oh, let's get Inzaghi, let's get Simeone, let's get Ancelotti. Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? We do not do that anymore. We do not hire top coaches. That is not the model. That is not what this football club does. So can people stop saying, let's get Simeone, let's get Ancelotti, let's get Inzaghi? It's not happening. We do not do that. No top manager is coming to this football club to work in this hierarchy and to work under this ownership and these directors. We are not getting world-class manager. We are not getting world-class players. This is our reality, guys. This is the reality right now. And I don't like talking about dressing rooms being lost and whatnot, because we don't actually know. But I have to say, last night to me, with the effort and the application that was put in, to me, it looks like a lot of these players have downed tools. They're not playing for the managers. You know, calling for a manager to be sacked is not done lightly by certain fans, myself included. I cannot stand this constant turnover of managers year after year. Every summer talking about a new fucking manager coming to the club. But it only makes sense to keep faith for the manager, guys, if they show signs of progress and if they can prove that their methods are working. Right now, Maresca is showing that his style of football is not working, and right now he is showing that we are making no progress. We have been absolutely dog shit for 4 months right now. We have been shit since Christmas. There are no signs of improvement anywhere. And I cannot see where another win comes from. Yeah, but it also tells you, bro. But we've all been shit for months on end, months and months and months. We've all been shit. So I don't understand how that's happened. And B, I do not understand why the very same players that were performing to a high standard at the start of the season are now all performing to an absolutely shocking standard. Since December, we are 14th, guys, in the form table. The only teams we have got more points than are Man United, Tottenham, West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton. Those are the 6 teams we've taken more points from, and they are the bottom 6. That is criminal, guys. Absolutely criminal. And Fulham are going to absolutely ruin us on the weekend. They are going to ruin us. And we've got a massive problem right now. We're playing boring football. There seems to be no connection with the fans. It looks like players have checked out, and that's just the on-field issues. You look at the off-field issues, and it's bad, if not worse, with the ownership, with the directors, with the project and whatnot. And right now, guys, being Chelsea's not fun. Being a Chelsea fan is not enjoyable. It's not been enjoyable all season, really. Well, it was enjoyable for the first half of the season, but it's not been enjoyable, really, for large parts of 3 years now. It has been really unenjoyable being a Chelsea fan. When they put in performances like that, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not on board with booing players like 10, 15 minutes into a game, but I'm on board with boos at half-time and I'm on board with boos at full-time. Absolutely, if you're dissatisfied with a performance. Maresca is a big mouth. He talks so much shit, makes excuses for his mistake. He's taken no responsibility. Look, again, this is another issue. There's no accountability. No one takes any responsibility at the football club for anything. No one takes any responsibility for anything. What are we doing here? There'd be more acceptance here and maybe a bit more leeway and a bit more forgiveness if managers just come out and accepted responsibility, said we're shit, we're working hard to try and put things right, being honest and acknowledging the mistakes that are being made. Right now, Maresca is doing the same thing that he has done for the last 4 months and is getting the same results, and then he's trying to tell us that we're playing well, that his style of football is the right one, that, the results will come and that, the atmosphere is good and that. The atmosphere is not good. It's absolutely abysmal. It's shocking. I was there last night. There was 29,000 there. I'm not surprised. We're 3-0 up from the first against a Conference League game. It's against a poor side. I'm not surprised. But seriously, the disconnect between manager and fans right now, between fan base and football club, is huge. Absolutely huge. The moment she is, brother, we're shit. And we're in the mud, and it's a big, big problem. A big, big problem. If fans don't think Caicedo won't go to Saudi, he'll be off without hesitation. No, look, I personally don't think Caicedo will go to Saudi. Do I think that Saudi would make an offer for him? Yes, I think they could. But I think Al Nassr could easily make an offer. Do I think Chelsea would accept an offer of 150 million? Yes. But do I think Caicedo wants to go? No, I don't. Not right now, anyway. If Arsenal win a Champions League, United or Spurs win Europa, and we end up back, we won't end up back in the conference. The only way we end up back in the Conference League is if we don't win it. That's the only way. But yeah, look, if United or Spurs are in the Champions League next season and Arsenal win the Champions League, yeah, I'm leaving the country for the summer. I'm out. If that happens, I'm gone. I'm gone. Maresca laughing in post-match presses, thinking it's funny, Jackson and Palmer. Yeah, we're missing so many chances. And look, this is what I've said, guys. The manager's got to take a lot of responsibility, but the way that some of these players are finishing in front of goal is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal, the way that some of these guys are playing in front of goal. It's so bad, guys. It's so bad the way that some of these guys are finishing in front of goal. The fact that Cucurella is our main attacking threat is criminal. And it goes to show how poor these attackers have been. I don't know, mate. For this bullshit, you can boo this management who plays after all what happened still. Sanchez in goal, and you could bring Petrovic instantly back. Again, look, the Petrovic thing was not Maresca's decision. It wasn't Maresca's decision to send him away. So there's certain things that are out of his control. There are certain things that are absolutely out of control. Didn't you say that the sporting directors want all the blame to go to Maresca? Yeah, of course they do, because the manager at the end of the day is a shield for the sporting directors, and he'll be the fall guy for their failings. This is how it works. This is how it works. He'll be the fall guy for their failings, guys. We're not idiots here. We are not idiots here. We know exactly how this works. He'll be the fool guy for their failings. If you come from poverty and someone offers you 500k a week or more, you're 100% taking that. Look, you're definitely giving it consideration, for sure. For sure. And having been to Saudi, having spent time out there, having like knowing people out there and the lifestyle and the football and the money that's on offer and their ambitions for the league, then yeah, it's mad. It's you know, it's mental. It is mental. But how confident are you that we'll make the right signings to challenge next season? Not very confident, bro. Not very confident at all. I have to be honest. Not confident that we're going to do the right things. Not confident, bro. I promise you now. If they win, if they win, I am off. I'm off. I will leave the UK. I will still do YouTube and stuff over the summer, but I'm gone. I'm gone. A 2-month stay anywhere. I'll be gone because yeah, that's too much to be dealing with. Look, we're struggling. We're struggling. There's no denying it, guys. We are struggling. Of course we are. Yeah, of course. But the reality is that the sporting directors are doing the job that they're being asked to do. They are doing a very good job based on what they're being told to do by the ownership. You know, that's the biggest problem. The squad that's been put together is abysmal. It's been put together so poorly. There's so many holes in this squad. But at the same time, guys, the manager's got to get more out of this. He's got to get more out of this, you know. We saw in the first half of the season the level that this team can perform to and the level that these players can perform to. So where's that gone? And why has everyone dropped off? And why can Maresca now get nothing out of these guys? I don't understand what's going on. You know, and look, I'm fed up of chopping and changing coaches, guys. Fed up of it. But this comes from the top. It comes from the top, and this ownership are sinking the club lower and lower and lower. And we cannot continue like this. And unfortunately, guys, it looks like we need to get rid of everyone and we need to rip everything up and we need to start again. We need to start again. That's what it feels like right now, that we need to start again. Where are the leaders? Where's the experience? It was embarrassing from everyone today. Embarrassing. Last night, sorry. There's no doubt for me, having seen that and having seen the effort last night and seen the effort over the last few weeks, there is 100% a section of the squad and these players who have downed tools under Maresca. But for me, I don't like the regular hiring and firing, as I've said. But I'm now struggling to see a situation where the gaffer can be here next season. Now, I'm not saying that I want the gaffer gone, but I'm starting to see a situation where, or a scenario where it's looking very difficult potentially for him to stay past the summer. We know that the squad building has been horrendous, but there's no escaping the fact that the gaffer is a problem. The gaffer is a problem. And the alarming thing is that if Legia Warsaw had played how they played last night in the first leg, they would have knocked us out over 2 legs. They would have locked us out. No, of course not. Brother, what don't people understand about the managers that Chelsea go for now? No manager worth their money is coming to Chelsea to work under this ownership, to work under this hierarchy with the current way the club is run and with the squad how it is. Not happening. Not happening at all. Not happening. And people need to realize that. People need to realize that. Guys, smash the like button as well with 38 likes, with over 100 in the building. That's poor. Run these likes up, people, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, guys. I would really, really appreciate that. Please subscribe if you're new around here. We passed 16K yesterday, on the road to 17K. So let's make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, and you're smashing the likes. I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't know if that's the case, but there's definitely evidence to suggest that that possibly could be the scenario, because I can't think of another reason why we started so well and then we suddenly just tailed off so badly. I don't get it. Embarrassing performance, 100%. You know, didn't even realize Jackson was playing. Didn't really even realize that Palmer was playing. Yeah, just a really, really difficult and a really, really disappointing night all round for everyone involved. The lack of experience in this squad is killing us. It's killing us. The Reece James situation is mental. I don't understand what's going on with him. I do not understand what's going on with him. Because why can't he play against Ipswich, but then he can play 90 minutes in the Conference League, and then against Fulham on Sunday, he's not going to play? This is the captain of the football club. What is going on here? I get it, you want to manage his minutes. I understand that. He's coming back from injuries and a lot of injury problems. You're playing him in midfield because it's easier on his body. I do not understand why you are resting Reece James in Premier League games to play him in the Conference League. What is going on here? What is that? This is the captain of the football club. What the fuck is going on? I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, where is he? You know, what is the thought process behind it? You know, I understand it, you know. And again, Maresca here today with comments coming out for the head of the Fulham game, the embargoed quotes which are now out. When you don't have a leader, at least you have to try to build some leaders. In this moment, Reece is doing well. We have 2 or 3 players that are making the effort, help the rest. I mean, what are we doing here? I think Maresca hasn't established his style of play early on. Now that he has, we're seeing how rigid and not flexible he is. No, we know how rigid and not flexible he is. We know that the style of play is not getting the best out of Reece James. The style of play does not get the best out of Malo Gusto. There's no surprise that Gusto is having a shocking season because the system's changed. Gusto does not suit inverting into midfield. We know this. Gusto doesn't suit inverting into the midfield. We absolutely know that. You know, the gaffer's a problem because he right now, regardless of the tools that he's got, we have been shit for 4 months since Christmas. We've been shit since Christmas, and this guy is doing exactly the same thing week after week and expecting different results. He is doing nothing different. Nothing different. So that is why he's a problem. He's a problem because he's not adapting. He's not getting anything out of this group of players. And we've been shit for 4 months. You cannot give the gaffer a free pass for being dog shit for 4 months and doing nothing to change it. We need that experienced players like Modric or we need players. We need players. Yeah, that was the turning point for me as well, bro. That was the turning point for me as well, where I'm thinking that was the first time I seriously questioned the gaffer. Seriously questioned the gaffer was that Brentford lineup. You know, you were resting players in a Premier League game for a fucking Conference League game. And now you're playing players in a Conference League game, and arguably the lineup that goes out against Fulham will probably be the same strength as a lineup that went out against Legia Warsaw. I don't get it. Is Xavi a better choice over Maresca? Potentially, but again, you know, it's. I feel maybe it's much of a likeness, guys. I think maybe it is much of a likeness at this point in time. Xavi, Maresca. I just think it's all very, very similar right now, guys. I have to be honest here. Big up my brother. Big up Killian from South Africa. No Reece for Ipswich in 90 minutes against Legia. We're shit right now. Yeah, bro, I hear you. Big up to all the Chelsea fans over in South Africa. Why do managers come to Chelsea and complicate their life? Bro, it's the same with everything. It's the same with everything, you know. Football is not complicated, but managers nowadays are making football seem like the most complicated thing going. People are overcomplicating it. It's the manager's job to invent a system that fits the players. I mean, we all hate Nkunku, but it should be also Maresca who adapts and invents. Look, I understand he needs to adapt and needs to adjust, but the manager's been brought in to play this style of football. We are playing this style of football. He said he's not changing the style of football. Has he got the players to play this style of football? Partly, but not fully. Part of me would like to see him given a top-class centre-forward, a top-class centre-back, and a top-class goalkeeper, and we go again next season and we see what happens. You know, part of me feels that he's done enough to warrant another go. Because for me, I do not have any faith or trust in the directors to pick anyone who is better. The only way that I'm Maresca out is if the directors go as well and we get a top-class sporting director in like a Luis Campos, for example, and he picks the manager. That's the only way, because we need continuity in the dugout. But I cannot get rid of this manager with these sporting directors picking another manager. For me, no. Absolutely no chance. It stems from the sporting directors, the way that the squad's been put together, but the manager's got to do better as well. It's not all one party's fault, but it is more the fault of the manager, the directors than the manager. I think if Maresca had the right tools, if you look at, we've missed 76. I can't remember the exact number. We've missed the most big chances in the league this season. If we had signed Victor Osimhen last summer, if we'd put the money on the table and signed Osimhen, we'd be. I'm telling you now, guys, we'd be where Forest are. We'd be where Newcastle are. We'd be third or fourth comfortably in the Premier League if we'd signed a striker this summer, someone that can put the ball in the back of the net. 100%, 100%. Yeah, and that's fine if you said that. Then that's no problem. And ultimately, we don't really know if he's good enough or not. You know, the football's boring. Everyone knows the football is boring. I don't need to sit here and tell everyone the football's boring. We know the football is shit. We know it's shit. We know that we're not good enough in attack. We know we're not good enough in defense. We know the goalkeeper's not good enough. We know that the majority of this playing squad isn't good enough. We know all this. This is not new information. This is not new information. It's not, guys. It really isn't. So, yeah, it's mad, bro. He hasn't got any leaders. Yeah, of course I would, but that's not happening, guys. We need to wake up and stop dreaming. We're not in fantasy land here. This is not Disney World here, where there's fairy tales and shit like that happens. You know. You know, we got to get this shit out of our head. We need what we had. We able to. Yeah, of course, we let Thiago Silva go and we signed Tosin on a free transfer and thought that would be all right. Great fucking work, guys. Great work. And people give Tosin a free pass because he was free. The guy's bang average. I'm sorry. Yeah, squad player, fine. Fourth choice centre back, no problem. Yeah, Palmer has dropped off massively. There's no denying it, you know. But he's created more chances than he created last season. But he's also missed significantly more chances than he did last season. So he's actually creating more, but he's missing more. Look, I don't know for certain Undertaker CFC, but there's definitely a possibility that he has. For sure, bro. For sure. I said yesterday, and if I need to, I'll say it again, the last 2 years, Chelsea have been 0 times. Yeah, no, and he's not necessarily wrong with that. I think Roberto Mancini is going to go and be a sporting director or some sort of person on the board or part of the hierarchy at Sampdoria. I'm not sure that Mancini will be coming to Stamford Bridge. Absolutely not. Guys, I'll try and get through as many of these comments as I can. Do you think the team can get better? Not this season, no. It certainly doesn't look like it. Not this season. Not this season. No, I don't believe so, guys. I do not believe so. Big up to Thomas for the super chat. Thank you, brother. In what way could the Maresca have adapted this season? Stopping play overlapping fullbacks. Try Palmer on the right. Try Nkunku in the 10. You know, Jackson down the middle. Simple things, you know, overlapping fullbacks, shift Palmer to the right wing, try Nkunku in the 10 to try and get something out of him. Things like that. Simple little solutions, which he's just not doing. He tried it maybe one time against Aston Villa away when we lost, and it wasn't that great. But you've got to do more than that. You have to do more than that. You know, you have to. You have to. No, we will win the Conference League. We will win the Conference League. Bro, the guy's got better box presence and better like IQ in the box than Jackson does. How is that? How is that possible? Yeah, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a real. I don't get it. It's a collective responsibility from everyone. I don't understand it. I really don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we go from here, guys. I don't know where we go from here. No, they're not. In the final, that's going to be very, very difficult. And if we're still playing how we are, no, I don't. It's not a sackable offence. Like he had a point, but it's the way that he put it across, which wasn't really ideal. You know, it's not ideal, and ultimately as well, so many of these players, guys, are nowhere near as good as people make them out to be, as a lot of us think they are. They're nowhere near as good. Nowhere near as good. You know, nowhere near as good. You know. Oh, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what we're doing. Yes, big up to Keshian. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. When you have Sanchez, Jackson, and Nkunku, only Jesus can do anything with this. Yeah, it's a fair point, brother. It is a fair point. It's a fair point. Thank you for the donation, bro. Appreciated. I mean, he's not won nothing. He's won the championship last season. So let's get that right first. But the real expectation, you know, the expectation was obviously win the Conference League, and it has to be get Champions League football. And whether we end up doing those things or not remains to be seen. But the facts are that we are still on course to achieve both those things. Those are the facts, guys. That we are on course to achieve those two things, whether we think they're going to happen or not. We are on course still to achieve both of those things. Whether we think it's going to happen or not is a different conversation. Yeah, he was saying that, and then he changed his mind, and then I think it was like a month or a couple of months ago. Then suddenly it was the aim after that. You know, I'm just really lost at where we're at right now. Really lost with where we're at right now. None of it makes any sense. You know, the fact that he's doubling down on what we're doing and believes in it and thinks it's right is a little bit concerning, given how poor we've been. Given how poor we have been. You know, it's mental. You know, he's doubling down on it. He said it again now. And what he's saying is true. I said yesterday, and if I need, I'll say it again. In the last 2 years, Chelsea has been 0 times top 4, top 5. This season, we spent almost all season, top 4, top 5 Champions League spots. Now, that is facts, but if you are saying that, then you better finish in those top 5 places. What you're saying here is true, undeniable. No one can say that's not true, because that is true. But when you say that, you better finish in the top 5, because you cannot be flexing the fact that we've been in the top 4, top 5 for most of the season and then not go and finish there. You must finish there. You must go and finish there. Okay? Regardless of whether the league's been shit this season or not, whatever. You know, again, you play what's in front of you. You know, no one's going to sit there at the end of the season and say, oh, we should have been 12th because the league was shit. If we finish 5th, we finish 5th and we move on, then no one cares about the quality of the season overall. But if you're going to say those things as a manager, you damn well finish in those positions. And right now, the fixtures we've got left, I see us winning, at best, I see us winning 1 of our final 6 games. 1. Well, that's not good enough. It's not good enough. Fulham will do us on Sunday. I'm so convinced that Fulham will do us on Sunday. It's not even a difficult conversation to be having here. And then you look at what we might do in the summer, and you look at Liam Delap, Jamie Gittins, you might sign Mark Gurhey. You know, are these actually positions and players that are moving the needle? Are they taking us to the next level? These are questions that unfortunately it doesn't seem like. I don't think we are moving to the next level with these guys. I don't see it, guys. I do not see it, unfortunately. I just don't. Guys, keep smashing that like button. We're on 66 likes. Let's get this up to 100 likes. We're 140 in the building. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Keep subscribing. Keep smashing that like button. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Let's get these likes up. It does really help me out. I'd be surprised if Fulham don't score 4 or 5 goals. I think they score a couple for sure. We are cursed. So at the moment, things aren't going well, guys. Things are not going well. And the worst thing is that, 1, it's not a surprise, and 2, I cannot see where this form ends. I don't understand it, you know. But the mentality issue comes from the top of the club, people. This is what happens when you don't prioritize winning. When you talk about things happening in 5, 10, 15 years' time, you know, it has that trickle-down effect to the players. You know, last night, summed up by Reece James's comments, as we went through earlier, not preparing properly for the game. You know, you get the impression that those guys didn't want to be there last night. They were annoyed that they had to play. There's a mentality issue at the football club. starts from the top down. As soon as you start saying things like, we couldn't win, but we didn't lose, your standards go from here to here. Very good from Reece to show how annoyed he is and to understand what's going on at the football club right now. You know, when Mourinho would say things like, I'm not saying you have to win, but we must not lose. When he would say things like that, the difference is he'd say it from a position of power. We'd be top of the league most of the times, or it'd be a cup competition. Very, very different to now. And that's where standards come in. What was said always shows the default mentality, you know. It's the director's fault in the sense, guys, that they hired someone who hasn't had the expectation and pressure of what it's like to manage an elite level team trying to challenge at the top end of the Premier League. Communication should never be an issue. You know, he's trying the composed approach, guys, and it feels like that's where he's going wrong, where Potter went wrong in that sense. You know, the sporting directors remain the biggest issue at the club currently. They remain the biggest issue, not the only issue, but they remain the biggest issue. You know, their incompetence is going to take this club down with them. It's going to take this club down with them, their incompetence. You know? Yeah, the squad and the manager is a huge issue. The squad and the manager is a monumental issue. A monumental issue, guys, with squad and manager. I mean, we finished 6th last season. I mean, I don't know where we would have finished without Palmer, but yeah. Maybe he doesn't believe in the players. Maybe the players don't believe in him. Or maybe he just thinks, do you know what? These players actually aren't good enough. These players aren't good enough. Maybe that's what he thinks. Maybe that's what he thinks. Yeah, I mean, Palmer stopped scoring. Basically, the attack has stopped functioning, and the attack has stopped scoring. That is the reality right now. If you have winger like Neto and Sancho, then you need a box striker. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, you need a box striker. Of course you do. No doubt about it. NPC lag. What does that mean? The biggest problem is blue code, not the other way around. SD's yeah, and that's a problem. That is a problem. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But at the end of the day, you're not going to say no to that job, are you? Of course, you're going to take that job. Of course, you're going to take that job. So, yeah, you know, it's where we're at, guys. It is where we're at right now. Yeah, he hasn't got the tools to work with, but he's also got to do better. He's also not been good enough. We've been shit for 4 months. 4 months we've been shit for. He has to take responsibility for that, and he has to do better. Has to do better. You know, has to do better. I mean, if we spending £1.5 billion and failing to make Champions League 3 times in a row, even when qualification has been extended to 5 spots, that, guys, for me, could be the biggest failure in the club's history. The biggest failure. It could even be the biggest failure for a top-level Premier League club in Premier League history. To spend that much money to try to not be able to finish the top 5 is criminal. Absolutely criminal. Bro, I don't know what you're expecting. Do fans actually expect Egg Barley to stop in the street and speak to them? Do you honestly think that? Do you honestly think that? No one does that. No one does that. You know? And yeah, okay, it's not a particularly great look, but the idea that fans think that he should have stopped in the street and spoken to them last night and commented on what's going on. Come on, guys. Let's use a little bit of common sense here. Yep, it would be so bad. It would be so bad, guys. It really would be, wouldn't it? It would just take the piss. It would take the piss completely. Sure, but the Chelsea that did the hire and fire also had one of the best squads in the Premier League. You know, also had one of the best squads in the Premier League, which helped out. We're generally one of the best or the top 2, you know. So that makes a massive difference. Exactly that. Exactly that. You've got no idea what could happen. No idea whatsoever. Yeah, but bro, but you keep saying that. But how many of our players actually start for Newcastle? You know, Newcastle have got a better team than us. Their midfield is better than ours. Their attack is better than ours. Their defense is better than ours. We might have better individuals in certain positions, but as a collective, Newcastle's 11 is better than our 11. Considerably better than our 11. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. Nottingham Forest starting 11 as a team is better than our 11. I think that basically now James is the backup to Romeo Lavia. Obviously, to a degree, he's being played there to... Yes, but bro, Isak was in Germany when he was like a teenager. That's a ridiculous comparison. Absolutely ridiculous comparison. Yeah, Newcastle are better than us. But it's a collective problem. It's the manager, it's the players, it's the directors, and it's the ownership. All of them are a problem. All of them are a problem, guys. You know, bro, we were £1.5 billion in debt under Roman. Like, all football clubs are in debt, you know. But yeah. You know, I mean, last night we had what? We had James and Gusto in the pivot, and we had a 19-year-old Tyreek George playing as a centre forward. I mean, what the fuck are we? What are we doing? What are we doing? What the fuck's going on here, guys? What is going on here, people? Guys, we're 25 likes away from 100. Keep smashing that like button. There's 140 in the building. The likes really help. It helps boost the content in the algorithm, get more eyes on the channel. And I would really, really appreciate you smashing that like button, people. So let's get this to 100 likes, guys. And let's get this to 100 likes. And keep subscribing as well. We're past the 16K mark. Let's keep that momentum going, guys. Come on, people. Come on, chat. Let's do this. Bro, fans aren't going to get the manager sacked. The ownership and the directors will do what they want to do. But bro, CFC Gamer, this is also my point as well, is that we would be in a totally different position if we'd signed a top striker last summer, if we put the money on the table for Osimhen. The amount of chances that we've missed, we would be in a totally different position. So that's why, that's where I agree with you, brother. That if we give him Maresca a centre forward, we would be in a totally different position this season because he would have converted a number of the chances that we've missed. And so that is the difference. And honestly, we'd be third or fourth. I really, really believe that. No, it doesn't change anything. It changes nothing. It changes nothing at all, bro. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right that getting rid of Maresca does not change anything. It doesn't change anything, you know. It doesn't. Simple. Simple as that. We did not need to sign a Sugu, but we still signed him. Yeah, I hear you. No, bro, if we'd signed Osimhen, it would have been a different story. It would have been a different story. You know, it would have been a totally different story, guys. Mm. And do you know what's mad? Do you know what's bad? These guys bought this football club and we were world and European champions. Let me bring this tweet up. Let me bring this tweet up to just sum up the disgrace right now. Clear Bowley inherited Chelsea as reigning world and European champions. Arsenal hadn't played in the Champions League since 2017 when they took over. 3 years on, and Arsenal have qualified for it twice and just destroyed Real Madrid over 2 legs. Chelsea lost to Legia Warsaw at home. That, my friends, chat, that is the reality. There it is, written down in the cold light of day. The facts of how far we have fallen in 3 years. What else? Arsenal are going to be in it again next season, and Chelsea are looking increasingly likely not to be. There's no front of shirt sponsor. And the closest Clear Lake Bowley have got to Real Madrid came thanks to Roman's final season. If you don't like the Arsenal example, one of Newcastle or Villa could easily qualify for the Champions League again. And that'll be twice since this ownership arrived. If you don't want to use that example, I'll give you Newcastle. Newcastle were taken over by the Saudi Public Investment Fund as a club that was struggling to stay in the Premier League. 3 years later, they've got a domestic trophy. They've qualified for the Champions League, and they are on course to qualify for a second time in 3 years. Chelsea, in that same period, have gone from world and European champions, 0 trophies, 0 Champions League qualifications. And Newcastle has spent an absolute fraction of the money that we have spent. A fraction. We have fallen off big time, guys. We have fallen off. There's no fear factor surrounding Chelsea. Teams aren't scared of playing Chelsea. We're a soft touch. That is what we are. We are a soft touch. Standards have been falling through the floor since this ownership took over. Mediocrity is accepted. Players' mentality in the bin. Managers' mentality in the bin. Clubs' mentality completely and utterly in the bin. Yeah, that's it, people. Nah, bro, the club is worth more. The club will absolutely be worth more. The club will be worth more. Nope, they're also not. They're also not. But these are the cold hard facts, guys. The cold hard facts right now. You know, Newcastle have recruited in a way where they've got experience with talented youngsters. Sure, but that's Rob. That's not impressive for us. You know that what you've beat us once at Stamford Bridge in how many years? Like 30 odd years. But yeah. No, look, some of the CFC London stuff is just merchandise. The club's not going to be called CFC London. No, but bro, it's important. Yeah, but bro, you have to use that as an example because, you know, that was the lie of the land when these guys came in 3 years ago. Those clubs have gone like that. We have gone like that. That is a major, major issue. A major issue. You know, there's no denying that. There's no denying it, people. No denying it whatsoever. None at all. None at all. Guys, we're 12 likes away from 100. Keep smashing that like button. Let's get this to 100 likes. We're still 140 in the building. Big up your damn selves. Love to the chat as always, guys. But yeah, smash the subscribe button. Get these likes to 100. Someone in the chat, let me know when we're at 100 likes, guys. That's the target as always. I don't know, but I can tell you now, we'd definitely be in a better position if Todd Boehly was the main guy. We would be in a better position. Yes, bro, because you need to support the team and produce and produce a good environment for them to play in. Booing after 15 minutes when you're not losing a game is ridiculous, in my opinion. Ridiculous. But yeah, that's I mean that's where we're currently at, people. That is where we are currently at as a team. Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. I mean, chat. Where do you think we're going? Where do you think we go from here, chat? What do you think the next steps are? You know, should Maresca be here next season? What do you think, guys? I'm going to set up a poll. I'm going to set up a poll. I'm going to end that poll. We're going to set up a new poll, guys. Okay. And I want to get your guys' thoughts. Right, guys, the poll is pinned to the top of the chat. So yeah, get voting, people. Get voting. Bro, we don't go for these kind of managers. We don't do that anymore. That's not what we do. It's not what we do. I mean, to be fair, bro, I'm available. I'm available. I'd do it for the fraction of the price. I'd do it for 500 quid a week, guys. I'd do it for 500 quid a week. You know? Actually, no, a bit more than that. A bit more than that. I'd do it for a week. I'll do it 10 grand a week. I'm in 10 grand a week, and I'll manage the team, guys. No problem. No problem. 10 grand a week, and I reckon I could do better. Well, I reckon I could maybe do something different. It can't be worse, surely, can it? It can't be worse. Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. I don't think people realize how in the mud we are. I don't think people realize how in the mud we currently are. You know, that's the reality. That's the reality. And I mean, let's go through some more Maresca comments quickly, guys, as well. Everyone goes on about Chelsea level, right? What is Chelsea level right now? Because from where I'm looking at, Chelsea level is not very good. Chelsea level is not very good, as far as I'm concerned. Not very good. So what is Chelsea level, guys? Someone please tell me what Chelsea level currently is, because so many people say to me, not Chelsea level. But what is Chelsea level right now? What is Chelsea level right now? Somebody please tell me. Somebody please tell me what Chelsea level is. Chat. Chat. Tell me what Chelsea level is. Because I don't know right now. I don't know right now at all. Now, players and managers will want to come here, but it just won't be the quality that we want at the end of the day. That's the reality. But let me get back to this anyway. Let me get back to this anyway. Let me just get back to this. Where were those comments? Very simple. Very simple. Can you achieve top 5 target if Nicholas and Cole don't start scoring? No. Is it as simple as that? Yes. Problem is, though, guys, these guys do not look like scoring. I don't really have faith that either Jackson or Palmer right now at this point in time are going to score when they step on the pitch. I don't have that faith. I just don't have that faith. I really don't. And so Maresca's got to find a way to get these guys scoring again. He's got to find a way to get these guys scoring. And I don't know how we're going to do that. I really don't know. Because the chances that we're missing, some of these chances we're missing are so easy, guys. They're so easy. Some of the chances being missed are so easy. It's just unbearable. I mean, look at the chance that Nkunku missed yesterday, straight at the goalkeeper. Like, and it sums up the attack that Cucurella looks our biggest attacking threat. You know, the regression from the attackers is so worrying and so concerning at the same time. Huge levels of regression from these attackers. Huge. Huge. And I don't see how these guys get back scoring regular goals. You know, the level of this attack is so poor. So poor. Sancho, not contributing enough, really. Neither is Madueke. I like Madueke, right? But in a proper Chelsea team, Madueke should be a squad rotational option. He's our best winger. He's our best winger. And there lies the problem. Neto has not lived up to expectations so far. Mudrik's out of the picture right now. He was improving. Sancho, I don't even know if we're going to... I don't know what we're going to do with him. Are we going to send him back? Are we going to keep him? I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah, no, bro, I like Madueke. But in a decent Chelsea team, he should be a squad/rotational option. That's what I'm trying to say here. He should be a squad or rotational option, guys. Guys, we're 5 likes from 100. Smash that like button. Let's get these 100 likes boxed off and get voting in the poll as well. Should Maresca be here next season? Vote in the poll. It's pinned to the top of the chat. But yeah, smash the likes, guys, up to 100. Doesn't help when both of them don't touch the ball as much at the start of the season. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I do not know what's happening right now. I really don't. It's a strange one. It is a strange one. Yeah, and this is my point, bro. The way that the squad's been put together, too many of these guys that are important first-team players now, in reality, they should be squad players. That's what they should be. In reality, they should be squad players. You know, that's the situation here. You know, that's the situation right now. You know, that's the reality here. You know, guys, that very much is the reality. Yeah, maybe you could try Jackson on the left, you know, but I think the club view him as a centre forward, guys. The lack of info about Mudryk's situation is concerning. Yeah, of course, I think we're still paying him. Yeah, you know, the guy's provisionally suspended, but there's been no update on anything for a long time now. I reckon I was one of the last people to see him in December. I reckon I was one of the last people to see him in public. But yeah, it's unfortunate, people. It's unfortunate, but this is where we are right now. And it's going to get worse before it gets better, guys. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But yeah, people, I better round this one out. I need to get myself to the studio to record the podcast for Chelsea Fan TV. So, guys, I'm going to round this one out here. Positive doping test in December. But guys, got to round this one out here. Need to get to the studio to record the podcast. Big love to the chat for tuning in. Appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out and subscribe, guys. We're 6 likes from 100 likes. Please smash the like button on the way out. We greatly appreciate it. Thanks for the love today on the show, guys. Big up to you, the chat. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend if you're in the UK. I'm sure other places celebrate Easter as well, but enjoy your bank holiday weekend. Guys, I will be back tomorrow with more content, so make sure you stay tuned there. Transfer news, build up to the Fulham game, all that sort of thing, chat. But yeah, smash that like button. 4 likes to 100. Subscribe if you're new around here. Love to the chat, as always. Big yourselves up. Enjoy the rest of your day. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.